I don't know what to do for this project. I don't know. Never seen a New Zealand film ever, other than Lord of the Rings. Can't do that one though. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna use Google quick. I'll just go see the top 20 New Zealand films. We'll go to the first one. Sure. And gave me 20 of them. That's good. And I have not seen any of these. I'm gonna Russian roulette this at this point. I'm just gonna close my eyes. I'm just gonna scroll the wheel and see what we land on. Okay. The Quiet Earth. A man named Zach Hobson awakens to find himself alone in the world. Perfect. This is I Am Legend. I can relate to this. I'm safe. I am safe. I'm golden. I can relate. This is gonna be easy. Perfect. Hello everyone. This is my presentation on The Quiet Earth. And reset. Okay, I'm back. Watch the movie. Reset. Hello everyone. Welcome to the presentation. I came back, watched the movie. I didn't come back and then watch the movie. I watched the movie and then came back. Hello everyone. Welcome to my presentation. Let's not do come on, let's get it right. Reset. Hey everyone, welcome to the presentation. I decided to do New Zealand, and the movie that I picked, definitely I thought it was gonna be like I Am Legend. At first I was like, but then I was like, no! Damn it! Yeah, this movie was not what I was thinking at all. Like, at all. But it was still really good. And the plot goes a little something like this. It's all off the top of my head. I don't even have to read it. When everyone around him vanishes overnight, scientist Zach Hobson. Yeah, no, I can't do this off the top of my head. I'm just gonna read right from the phone. When everyone around him vanishes overnight, scientist Zach Hobson finds himself seemingly the only person left on the planet. The isolation initially drives him to the brink of suicide, but eventually Zach adapts to the day-to-day routine. After meeting two other survivors, Joanne and Appy, the trio roams New Zealand trying to understand what caused everyone else to disappear and why they remained behind, and whether the disaster will strike again. So this movie was directed by Jeff Murphy, or Geoff Murphy. Pretty sure it's Jeff Murphy though. Good old Geoff. Jeff's second feature film, Goodbye Pork Pie, which was released in 1981, gained him his critical acclaim. It was the first New Zealand movie to win commercial success on its own soil. Jeff directed a string of Hollywood features during the 1990s before returning to New Zealand as a second unit director on the Lord of the Rings film trilogy. Even though I couldn't do Lord of the Rings, I still was able to incorporate it somehow. Haha! I don't know why I just didn't pick a Peter Jackson film, but okay. Jeff has also been a scriptwriter, special effects technician, school teacher, and trumpet player. So Jeff's second movie after Goodbye Pork Pie was The Quiet Earth, and The Quiet Earth released to massive critical acclaim and won 8 New Zealand Film Awards. This film became very important to New Zealand because it was its first commercially successful science fiction film. So after its release on October the 18th of 1986, the box office was 600,000 shortly after in New Zealand alone. What's the next one here? A short description of the director's career. Oh, I already did that without even looking. I'm good. So I want to mention the main difference between I Am Legend and The Quiet Earth. The main character of I Am Legend understands why he's alone. He went through people being there, and then he saw the people not be there, basically, is how it goes. Where in The Quiet Earth, the main character, he just wakes up, and all of a sudden everyone's gone. He has to try to figure it out himself on that everyone's gone, but also how. So that's definitely a main difference between the two films. So that's what I'm going to show you, is the beginning scenes where he is trying to figure out that he is completely alone.
Hello? Is anybody out there? Is anybody receiving me?
So eventually throughout the movie, we get introduced to new characters, and later we find out, spoiler alert, that the reason why they are all alive and no one else is because of a phenomenon that one of their scientific instruments and the sun is screwing with the fabric of space, and they're in a possible another multi-universe of some sort. But the reason why they're the ones that are alive and didn't get taken away like everyone else is because right at the time that the scientific instrument and the sun came together and formed that anomaly, the main characters all died at the exact same time. As they were dying, the anomaly happened, which then kept them alive, and everyone else vanished. So because the main characters were in the middle of their deaths, the anomaly didn't take them into another universe like it did with everyone else. Yeah, I think that makes sense. That's me trying to explain this movie. This movie really digs into the audience that's watching, basically because it relates to everyone. Everyone has regrets, everyone has fears, everyone takes things for granted, and that's what this movie seems to be telling. This is, I think, the either major theme or the secret theme of this whole thing. This movie shows what it would be like if everyone that you loved and cared about left you, and you were the only people left on Earth. It shows what we take for granted, human interaction that we take for granted specifically. It shows you how fun it is to actually just talk to someone, and also just be around people, because when you are alone, you tend to go insane. One of the main things that stood out to me in the film was the sound, and how it can be dead silent just to really push the fact that he's alone when it needs to be. Even though there could be cars running at certain times, or there could be birds chirping in the background, or some sort of animal, there's nothing. There's usually in every clip there is no sound but him. Another thing I want to point out is the set design. In the film, it shows an entire plane crash site, which I thought was pretty cool. Especially not having that big of a budget to run off of. Didn't matter what scene they were in. Set design felt like no one has been there for only a day, which is interesting and unique compared to something like I Am Legend, where they needed to make it look like people have not been there for years. Overall, I think it was a really good film. I enjoyed it. So one of the reasons why I picked this film was because when I was growing up, I was always into the natural disaster type of films. Films that I watched all the time were The Day After Tomorrow. That was one of my favorite films growing up. And then 2012, when I was growing up, I thought that was amazing, or maybe not amazing. Maybe amazing is not the right word to use. I guess it was just mind-blowing to me as a kid that something that catastrophic could happen eventually. That could happen to me. What am I going to do about it when that day comes? And I always wanted to be mindful of something like that. So when movies like this come out, I always go and see them. And that's all I have. Thanks for watching. But gotta add some bloopers in here, of course. Let's go. Let's roll the clip. Just in case I have bloopers. If I don't have bloopers, then I won't put anything after this clip. Now that I'm thinking about it, I probably won't have bloopers, but I might just keep this in as the blooper. Okay, cool. Cut. Rolling. Take one, I believe. Scene 3, take 1, series. Mark. Scene 4. Scene 5. Scene 6, Take 1. Second 6. Scene 7. Ah, shit. No, I don't know what I'm doing, no. I literally wrote a script for this. This is brutal. Absolutely brutal.